you ever felt like someone was right there, right next to you, even if no one else could see them? That's exactly how it all began. At first, I thought it was just my imagination, a coincidence, a weird prank. But then, it became impossible to ignore. If you love creepy school stories, paranormal mysteries, and horror tales based on disturbing events, hit that like button now, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below. Have you ever seen something no one else did? This video is going to chill you to the bone, and the worst part is that it could happen to anyone. It all started on a random Tuesday. New school, new class. Of course I was nervous. Who wouldn't be? But what caught my attention the most was the boy sitting next to me. He didn't say a word, just sat there, quiet. Pale face, sunken eyes, like he was exhausted or sad. I thought he was just shy, so I tried to start a conversation. "Hey, I'm Ethan. Are you new here too?" Nothing. No answer. He just slightly turned his head toward me, stared for 2 seconds, then looked forward again. Okay. A little weird, but fine. Maybe he just wasn't in the mood. Not everyone likes to socialize on the first day. The problem was, no one else seemed to notice he was there. The teacher came around for attendance, name by name. And when he got to mine, he looked straight at me. "Ethan Miller?" "Here," I replied. The boy next to me didn't move. The teacher kept going, but he never called the other boys. "Name?" And when I quietly asked a girl behind me, she frowned. "Boy? What boy? You mean the guy on the other side of the room?" "No, the one right next to me." She laughed awkwardly. "There's no one next to you." I swear a chill went down my spine at that moment. I started paying closer attention, and I realized the boy never interacted with anyone, never spoke, never raised his hand, never got out materials. But he was always there. Every class, in the same seat, even when we changed classrooms, he still appeared next to me. And I started noticing more strange things. In chemistry class, the teacher asked us to pair up. I looked at him and said, "Want to partner with me?" He didn't react. But at that exact moment, a test tube fell off the counter, without anyone touching it. The teacher rushed over angry. "Who did this?" But no one could answer. And me? I just looked at him. He was staring back, with a faint smirk on his lips. It was like he was testing me. At lunch, I sat alone, and guess who showed up and sat across from me? Yeah, him. No tray, no food, just staring, as if he wanted me to say something. I decided to confront him. "What do you want? Who are you?" And then he spoke, for the first time. "You can see me." That's it. Softly. Almost a whisper. "Of course I can. You're right here." He tilted his head, curious. "You're the first one in a long time." Then he stood up and walked away, disappearing into the crowded cafeteria. Literally, disappearing. People walked right through him like he was air. I sat there frozen, trembling. And in that moment, I knew this wasn't a normal boy. I went back to class in shock. I tried to find any information I could. I described the boy to a few classmates, but no one recognized him. Not even when I mentioned details, like the faded red shirt he wore every day or his outdated haircut. Then something really strange happened. At the back of the classroom, on the school memories board, there was an old photo, black and white, dated 1998. A class sitting at desks, smiling. And there he was, exactly the same. Same face, same clothes, same stare. My heart almost stopped. I snapped a picture on my phone and ran to the school office. The receptionist greeted me with a smile. "Can I help you, sweetheart? This photo. Can you tell me who this boy is?" She looked, and her smile faded. "Where did you find this?" "On the board, in room 104. Who is he?" She hesitated. "That boy. His name was Lucas Avery. He died here in 1998, a tragic accident in the science lab. The lab's been sealed ever since." My body turned cold. It was impossible, but everything made sense. He was there, sitting next to me every day, as if he were still alive. As if he was still trapped. I returned to class feeling like something had changed. When I walked in, the seat next to me was empty. For the first time, he wasn't there. But it didn't last long. In the next class, when I sat down, I felt that familiar presence. The air got heavy. The smell of mold and smoke filled my nose. Slowly, I turned my head. He was back, but something in his eyes had changed, like he knew I had found out. And then I realized he never wanted friendship. He wanted to be seen, and I was the first to do that in 26 years. But what I didn't know was that now he would never leave me. The next day, when I entered the school, everything felt wrong. The hallway was too quiet. My footsteps echoed like I was the only one there. As I passed classroom doors, people inside seemed frozen. When they looked at me, it was like they didn't really see me, like I was becoming invisible. In room 104, the seat next to me was empty again, but I knew he was there. During math class, the projector shut off, lights flickered, and on the whiteboard, words began to appear by themselves. The teacher blamed it on a technical glitch, but I saw the message clearly. "You opened the door." Yes, in English, and it sent shivers down my spine. No one else reacted. Not the teacher, not the students. It was like only I could see it. I started feeling watched all the time, even in the bathroom, library, cafeteria. It felt like someone was always just inches away. On Thursday, I made the mistake of digging deeper. I went to the school library, the perfect place to search since no one ever goes there. I asked the librarian about old school records, and she led me to a dusty archive room. Yellowed photos, ancient reports, and faded student files. I searched for hours until I found Lucas Avery's file. He was 13 when he died, an 8th grader. The report said he died in a poorly supervised science experiment, an explosion caused by chemicals. 3 students were injured, but Lucas died instantly. The lab was locked that same day and never reopened. Then came the scariest part. Lucas had sat at the desk next to mine. An old floor plan of the science room showed the desk layout. His spot was exactly where I always sat now. Shaken, I returned to class. The atmosphere felt heavier. I sat down and avoided looking to my side. But I still felt it. A presence, a cold chill, and then a whisper in my ear. "You need to see." I jumped. Other students stared at me confused, but no one else seemed to hear what I heard. That day, I made the dumbest, or maybe bravest, decision of my life: to enter the sealed science lab. I waited until school ended, pretended I forgot a book, and slipped back into the main hallway. The lab door, number 112, was still there. Caution tape faded with age, a rusty padlock hanging from it. But something was different. The padlock was open. My heart pounded. I should have walked away. But something, maybe him, pulled me in. I slowly pushed the door. It creaked loudly down the empty hallway. The smell hit me instantly. Mold, dust, and something burnt, like something had been scorched decades ago. The lab was frozen in time, broken. Tables, shattered glass, fallen cabinets. In the back, a charred desk with dark stains on the floor. I knew it. That was the place. I walked closer. Above the burnt desk was a cracked mirror. I looked at my reflection, and he was standing behind me. Lucas, pale, hollow-eyed, and now, half of his face was burned. I spun around, but he was gone. Or, almost. A cabinet door creaked open on its own. Inside, I saw something that made my blood freeze. A folder. Inside, a list of names. Students. All crossed out in red ink, all except mine. At the top of the page, handwritten, "The ones who can see." That's when the truth hit me. Lucas wasn't alone. There were others. Students who could see things others couldn't. And all of them vanished. A loud snap echoed. The lab door slammed shut behind me. I was locked in. Alone. With him. The lights flickered, and in a blink, he was in front of me. This time more real, more solid. He spoke. "They forgot us. But you remember." "What? Who are they? What do you want from me?" "You must remember, for all of us, you opened the door and now you must enter." He reached out his hand, and suddenly everything spun. The floor vanished. I felt myself being pulled into a memory, a parallel reality, a time that wasn't mine. Images of other students flashed before me, all with the same terrified expression, all trying to escape. Then, silence. I woke up hours later in the school hallway, face against the cold floor, the lab, door sealed shut again like it had never opened. But something in me had changed. I could hear the voices now, all of them, the forgotten, the trapped between this world and the next. And I knew. Lucas wasn't just a ghost. He was the key to something bigger. And what if I told you he's not alone anymore? What if I showed you what happened when I tried to ask for help and found out someone was already waiting for me? In the next few minutes, the school changes forever, and my name vanishes from the attendance list. The next day, nothing was the same. When I woke up in the hallway, face against the cold floor, something felt different. Sounds were distant, like I was in another dimension. Voices echoed in my mind, whispering words I couldn't yet understand. I went home in silence. But when I opened my backpack, I found something that wasn't there before. The list. The same list I saw in the lab, all the names crossed out. Except mine. And now, one more name was added. Below mine. Lucas. As if now, we were part of the same group. The next day, I went to school to tell someone. A teacher, the principal, anyone. But as soon as I stepped inside, I realized things weren't the same. The hallways were darker, even with the lights on. Lockers looked older, like they'd gone back in time. And the students didn't notice me. They walked past like I was part of the wall, like I wasn't even there. I got to room 104. My desk was empty. No one sat beside me. No one saw me enter. Not even the teacher called my name during attendance. My name had vanished. I checked the digital roster on the teacher's tablet. Scrolled down, alphabetical list. Between Miller, Charlotte, and Mills, Owen. No Ethan Miller. My heart nearly stopped. I tried to speak, to scream, but no one reacted. I had become what Lucas was, an observer, a presence, an invisible student. I went back to the lab, knowing it was a one-way trip. The door was always open to me now, like it was waiting. Inside it was dark. Lucas was already there. He looked different, more solid, more human, but his eyes weren't from this world. "Now you understand?" he asked. "Why me? Why did you choose me?" "Because you saw, and if you can see, You belong. But I don't want to be trapped here. You already are. But you can still decide whether you'll be alone. That's when I realized the truth. He wasn't trapping me. He was replacing himself. Lucas wanted out, and someone had to take his place. The room trembled. Lights exploded one by one. Distant screams echoed through the walls. Behind Lucas, others appeared. Shadows of students, hundreds. Empty eyes, staring. They were the scene. Those who, like me, saw what they shouldn't. And now they lived here, trapped in time. Because seeing is step one. Step two is never leaving. I tried to run, but the doors vanished. The school became a maze. I passed classrooms with old portraits, ghostly students, faceless teachers. Everything was collapsing. The building I knew was gone. I was inside an inverted version of the school where time froze, and forgotten souls kept repeating the same days. Then I heard a voice. "Ethan?" It was my mom. Through a fogged glass door, she looked at me, eyes filled with tears. She was in the real school with the principal. They were looking for me. But from this side, I couldn't reach them. I pounded on the glass. "Mom, I'm here!" But she couldn't hear me. On the other side, I saw the principal shake her head and hand over a document. My student file. She pointed at the attendance list. My mom cried, because Ethan Miller never existed. That's when I understood what Lucas wanted me to see all along. This school wasn't just a school. It was a prison of memories, of erased stories, of people who saw too much, of voices no one listened to. And the only way out was for someone to see me, like I had seen him. I returned to room 104. He was waiting, hand outstretched. If you want to go, someone has to believe you. And if no one believes, then you stay. The next day, a new girl arrived. First day, new class. She sat in my old seat. She looked at me and frowned. "Who are you?" she asked. And I smiled, because someone finally saw me. Now I sit next to her, every day, waiting for the right moment, to tell her the truth, to help her see what no one else wants to. Because this school has rules, and the most important one is, if you see a student no one else sees, don't talk to them. If you want more stories like this, subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and tell us in the comments what you would do if this happened to you.